Well, we're back at the old Privy pit, and we're going to see if we can maybe finish this off. Neil's down there checking for stuff. Make sure you don't reach in too much. I'll show you what we're. This is all the stuff we pulled off the roof of the Privy from our undercut. Neil's gonna take some footage, and I'm gonna shovel some of this stuff out of the hole and up onto the pile here. So we got a lot of this pretty dishware. I don't know why there's so many dishes in this Privy. It's really quite strange that it's so thick with glass. I did get my back fixed this morning, chiropractor, so I'm feeling a little bit better now. This is better for it. Sitting around all day, I was getting almost stiff, and I'll take it easy, but doing stuff seems to keep it limber. I don't know what that is. Is that metal, or is that a piece of, or is that glass or a piece of metal? No, actually it's...
I think I found a piece of that green thing over there.
Oh yeah, that pitcher. Oh, that's a rubber ring from a glass, from a sealer, from one of those fruit jars. Oh, what do we got? Oh yeah, here we go. Let's take a look at what we got here. We got Royal Ironstone China, Alfred Meakin, England. I'm gonna get some of these and see if we can date them. It's interesting to know how old this stuff is. I'm beginning to think the Privy dates from about 1910 to about the First World War, just because I'm finding stuff like hairnets and other things that didn't start being made until 1910. So, and those were on the bottom of the pit. This is kind of curious, this rounded, I don't know, maybe it was from a round window. Well, I just found part of a porcelain doll's head. I found another piece over here earlier, and I thought, wow, the texture made it feel like it could be something like that, and that was definitely a part of this, because it has the same it's got the same pink coloring to it. Let's see what else comes out. Oh, Neil's really getting into it now. What did you just pull out?
Wait, where's the phone?
Oh, it's back there. Yeah, we're getting lots coming out of there.
Sure, kind of thing in here.
So much dishware. I don't know what this one is. I don't think it has a name on it, but it would have been quite nice, this brown medicine bottle. Some really fancy stuff in here. The plates, the different dishware. This, not sure what that is, but a lot of pots and assortment of different cool stuff. Lantern globes. We even got an old gem jar, broken unfortunately, but this looks like this gem doesn't appear to have that cross on it, which a lot of them do. So this could be an older gem, maybe a Hamilton glass, possibly.
It's a broken kind of glass.
There's
I found broken glass tumbler.
fancy vase. Quite pretty green. Neil just pulled out a tumbler that appears to be broken. One thing I noticed about older tumblers is they have that mold line around the top there. Is what I've noticed about all the old tumblers. I guess the way they were made. Don't know what they did here, but they have looks like these graduated laboratory bottles. Not sure what that could be. And of course some common medicines of the time. Nervaline. And yeah. We also just pulled out a eclectic oil, Northrop and Lyman, Toronto. So yeah. We'll see what other cool stuff comes out. Oh, Neil just pulled out, looks like a case gin. It is a case gin. Broken, unfortunately, but just hope we can find some larger bottles that are intact. There doesn't seem to be too much larger ones that survived. We missed a few intact ones, some small medicines that I pulled out of this waste pile. I've been pulling it out, but also sifting through it too. Not sifting, but going through with the stick, seeing if there's anything I missed.
Why is it always broken at least a bit? It's always broken like a wee bit.
Yeah, we haven't found one intact. Haven't found one intact bottle like this. It's either got a tiny little hole in it or whatnot.
I found one.
Neil's
yeah,
going.
I found one. Oh, it's cracked though. It's really cracked.
Let's see what it is.
It's cracked though. It's cracked.
What did we pull? What did we get?
It's really cracked.
It's cracked, but it's another eclectic oil. That's fine. We already have one of these, so.
Another one,
no
but
biggie.
it's broken too.
Let's see that one. We just pulled out another one here. We got another medicine. I don't think this one's got any writing on it though. No, this one's just
another one, and actually isn't cracked.
Oh wow,
it's in our Pinex.
Let's just see. We just pulled out.
It's in our Pinex.
Pulling these things out like crazy. We got a Pinex. That's the third Pinex now. I found out what Pinex is. It was a cough medication back when, and I think we might be into the. It was either tooled with another. If I can get this to focus. It was either tooled with another instrument or it was machine made. Because we're starting to get around to that period of time. Oh, that is a big. Can I see that, Neil?
I hit the wood wall.
Can I see what that is, Neil?
I hit the wood wall.
Is that window glass?
Yeah.
We got a big shard of window glass. That stuff is nasty.
I hit the wood wall. I hit the end.
Oh, I think Neil's just saying he. We just hit the edge of the privy. We got a wood wall here, which is funny. Yeah, I guess that's about right. The stone is up there, but yeah, I think we've hit our as far as we can go this way. Just be careful, Neil. Go slow. Yeah. See what's in that corner, maybe. Turn the prong kind of upside down and just feel in and just sort of pull it like that, yeah. Just be careful.
It's just window glass.
Yeah. Well, we're getting to it.
Should I have my feet
We
in
may
here?
actually finish this hole today. That would be kind of cool. Disappointing it doesn't go any deeper, but that's the way it goes. We have, I know there's at least 2 other privy pits here, but I'm sure there's more that we could find if we probe around a little bit more. There's got to be some older ones. See if we can find that somewhere in this area. Well, here's an interesting bottle we got. It's dangling from the roof of the Privy by roots, I guess, and it appears intact. So why don't you grab onto it, Neil, and see what we got?
Yeah, the roots are actually inside it.
Oh, the roots were right inside the bottle.
I think it's intact.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
No. Chips. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Yes.
Is it?
I don't think it's a descript. I don't think it's a descript bottle, but yeah, that was kind of neat seeing it dangling there. It's definitely an applied top. So neat. We also pulled this cool thing out.
What's this?
Whoa, that's
it's like newspaper. It's newspaper.
Weird. Oh, are you kidding me?
It's newspaper.
We got. Oh, I think we got a bundle. What appears to be. Oh, we have newspaper. I see words. Oh, we gotta take this apart and see if we can get something off. Well, I just pulled apart part of the newspaper, and it was at pretty much at the top of the Privy, and we've got World War I era. That is cool. I can see that is by Victory Bonds. It's gotta be. I can see something on here. Sounds like money raised to date. I see Ontario in there. This is definitely, oh, that's cool. This is, I figured we were around late first decade of the 20th century up till the First World War, or during the First World War even. Yeah, that is pretty darn cool. Yeah, that has got to be, almost looks like they dumped paint. This green stuff, I have no idea what it is, but whatever it is, it kind of preserved this stuff. Let's see what else we can get out of this. Well, within that newspaper, I found what looks to be a thermometer. It'd be an old, one of those old mercury thermometers. Don't know if there's any mercury still in it, but
that'd be good if it was, right?
I'm not taking that. Yeah, let's. I think I'm gonna take some of this stuff home and try and carefully pry it apart with a knife and see if there's anything else I can read on it. Good old newspaper, toilet paper of the time. So pretty cool stuff. So we're at the back end of the pit on the bottom. You can see the clay there, and this is the kind of stuff that's coming off of the very bottom of this place. We got nice blue willowware here. See if we can find a maker's mark on it. Sort of part, but it says Canada on it. Something and Canada. Pretty cool. The really cool thing, I was just shoveling off the bottom here, and check this thing that came out from the bottom. This is creepy. That is freaky. Let's see. This is definitely a porcelain doll head, and I think it might actually be mostly intact, if you can believe it. I'm not pulling much intact out of this, or it's something, but that I guess it would be where the hair goes into. That's crazy why this is even thrown in here. It's not even broken. That's wild. Well, I guess we're into the theme of finding creepy dolls in this area, so that is really scary. Especially the way the dirt is on this thing and the blank eyes. That is just, that's definitely out of Halloween, definitely. And look, the zombie ate his brain. Oh my goodness. Oh well, let's see let's see what else we can find down in this pit of ultimate darkness. Well, here we got the you can see the corner of the Privy dugout there. And we're working our way against that wall there. Lots of dishware at the bottom. It appears that this might not have been in operation for very long. There's a tremendous amount of trash dumped in at the bottom. And in this area we found some more pieces of doll heads that are more in pieces, but we're gonna see if we can maybe piece them together, which would be kind of neat. I don't know. It almost seemed like it was getting a little bit deeper down in this spot, working on the bottom, but there's a wood wall here, but some of this stuff is going through the wood, so I'm almost wondering if there's something beyond it. Maybe this is just half. It'd be cool to see what's beyond that wall, if anything. Well, we'll see after we get into it. Well, here we got the you can see the corner of the Privy dugout there. And we're working our way against that wall there. Lots of dishware at the bottom. It appears that this might not have been in operation for very long. There's a tremendous amount of trash dumped in at the bottom. And in this area we found some more pieces of doll heads that are more in pieces, but we're gonna see if we can maybe piece them together, which would be kind of neat. I don't know. It almost seemed like it was getting a little bit deeper down in this spot, working on the bottom, but there's a wood wall here, but some of this stuff is going through the wood, so I'm almost wondering if there's something beyond it. Maybe this is just half. It'd be cool to see what's beyond that wall, if anything. Well, we'll see after we get into it. Well, you can really get a good idea of the shape of the Privy now. You can see there's the one side wall. Amazing how the wood starts rotting as soon as it's exposed to air. Here's the other side there. That right there. And we are at the back end there. We just have this corner to clean out a little bit, and I guess the roof, I think we've mostly cleaned out the roof of it now, but we'll see if we get any last bottles from this or anything else interesting.
That board that now is kind of curved down.
Well, Neil's gotten bored and he's making his own shelter now. He works pretty fast. And here I just pulled out of that corner. This is really cool. I've never seen one of these before. We got Hires household extract for making root beer at home. Manufactured by The Charles Hires Company, Philadelphia, USA. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That is a really cool bottle. And yeah, we're definitely this Privy definitely spans the hand-tooled and machine-made age bottles. Awesome stuff. Let's see what comes out next. Well, it looks like we're finished this Privy hole now. We've scraped around at the side and on the roofs, and that's pretty much it now. And this is the spoils. All this is broken stuff, but it's quite interesting, some of the stuff that came out. Here's some of the plateware. I think most of it's made in England. It's probably from the late 1800s, early 20th century. There was definitely a lot of these. It was like the entire set of these dishes was in the Privy here. I don't know, maybe they got a new set of dishes and decided to just get rid of all the old ones and throw them in the trash pit. And this one is oh yeah, that blueware. There's quite a large set of those.
Hey Dad, I found a tooth.
Some other nice pad in there.
It's a tooth.
I don't know. It's hard to say. It could be the top of a tooth, yeah, possibly from a cow, a long time ago. There we got some blue willow, England. These are quite nice. This dish set, it's got a lot of gold trim on it. And I found a couple of fruit jar lids, unfortunately broken, but I believe this is the old Diamond Glass Company monogram logo from back in the early 1900s. And this was kind of cool. Came out of the spoils. Might be off of a chandelier. Very purple. Very cool looking glass, or crystal as it might be. And yeah, a whole bunch of... We did find one case gin. It was broken, but unfortunately, so much stuff was broken in here. Some of these dishes are quite pretty. We did find some more porcelain doll stuff. Let's see. We found some pieces of other ones, and we discovered that this actually had... there's holders inside for holding the eyes in place, and this piece of clay attached to the eye was done on purpose way back when to hold the eye in place. And then when we cleaned it out, it all fell back in.
Yeah, but the other eye's at the bottom though. It's at the bottom of it.
Yeah. And then I don't know if it's the same head, but we've got, it could be, we've got a whole bunch of pieces of another one. I think it's the exact same one by the looks of it. Just all broken. Interesting how the intact one ended up. It's got some writing on it too. I'll have to clean that up and take a look at it and see what it is. Very interesting stuff though. Well, that's it for our hunt today, and we'll probably get started on a new pit at a later date. Until then, bye for now. So I've got all the rest of the bottles cleaned up from the remainder of the Privy dig. We decided to keep this thing right here. It's only broken in two pieces. The bottom came off. but it is quite pretty, so thought I would just, doesn't have any missing glass, but it just fits right right together like that. So I cleaned up the doll's head, and it's got a maker's mark on the back. It says made in Germany, Armand, Marseille. And I guess there's some mold numbers on there. And I researched this, and apparently it was a famous manufacturer of porcelain dolls back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And you can see inside, you can see the two little panels down there that are used to make the teeth, which is really quite cool. Unfortunately, the eyes came out, and these are really neat looking glass eyes, and they're extremely fragile. Apparently they're made to open and close, and I think when I filmed it, when I first picked it up, the eyes had been closed because I did not see the pupils of the eyes. And this is just blown glass, just very, very thin. Unfortunately, the other one got busted in transit. Someone had fashioned a piece of clay and attached this to it, and this was inside of the head. But as you can see, it's really, really thin glass and very fragile. This was very interesting too. I'm not sure if this was with the manufacturer or if someone added this later, but these are bone pieces that were fashioned on the inside to hold the eyes in place. You can also see some, almost looks like glue marks from something where things were attached inside. But yeah, I can't believe that this thing actually was intact at the bottom of the hole. There was another one which is the exact same as this, but it was busted. The other really cool thing was the newspaper. You can see I don't know what all this green is from, but I did find some broken thermometers within the newspaper. I don't think you want to know what this newspaper was used for, or what that brown stuff is in between the pieces. It was found near the top of the Privy, and I've actually been able to find a date of this newspaper. It says Wednesday, March something something. There's a 9 there, but I look over here and I see this newspaper is 1919, and it's a British Whig, which was the Kingston's newspaper way back. I also see another article here which talks about the Kaiser being punished. So this is, I guess, post-war, and during the time when they were negotiating the Treaty of Versailles. So it's, yeah, very interesting pieces of newsprint. Amazing that they've survived this long. And we got some interesting. Most of the bottles are nondescript, but there are a few, and unfortunately they're not they're not that rare. Northrop and Lyman eclectic oil, external, internal, pretty much find these everywhere. They're pretty common medicine bottle from back in the day. We also got this is the second one that I found, Dr. Chase's syrup, linseed, and turpentine. Ooh, I don't think I'd want to take that medicine. That would be pretty tough to swallow. Nasty stuff. What other ones do we have? Oh yeah, we have Pine-X, which is another cough remedy from back in the day. I was looking at these. I have another one that is hand tooled, but this one does not appear to be machine made. However, it does have, and I know these were being used around the time of transition where they would take a tool and press it onto the tip to form a lip. And that's what I believe that is. I think we have, interesting, the Pine-X's are in two different colors. We have a one in blue, and the other one is in, I guess, what you call aqua, or a green aqua. So you would get sometimes differences in colors. They would run different glass batches at different times, so it's pretty interesting. And this one has the same tool marking on the lip as well. You can see the mold line come up to another spot around the bottom. And I think the only other descriptive bottle we found, which is pretty cool, I've never seen one of these before, and I don't think they're too common, but was the Hires root beer extract. Making root beer at home. Other funny thing about these bottles is that they have a lot of iridescent scale on them when pulling them out of the ground, but all that scale seems to peel off for the most part, which is kind of nice. This one's actually, surprisingly, is a machine made. You can see the mold line coming up to the top. And I think it has, usually you can tell if it's machine made, it's got an Owens ring on the bottom, which was the bottle making machines by the Owens Glass Company. I think that ring is right there. Pretty cool stuff, though. All in all, it wasn't too many bottles in this. There was a lot of smash stuff, and I think this pit was probably used from around 1910-ish to, I guess, to the date of this newspaper, which was around 1919. I'm wondering if they maybe closed this pit up because 1919 was the Spanish flu, and maybe they said, "Oh, after the flu was over, let's dig a new Privy pit and cover over this old one," so just to be on the safe side. Well, that's all for now, and we will see. I don't know when we'll start on the next Privy pit. There's one is out behind the barn, which is an interesting spot, and one is much further back. But I'd like to do a bit more probing near the one we were at, because it's just behind where the house used to be. And the oldest Privy has got to be much closer to the house, so I need to do a bunch more probing and see if I can find anything in the area. Well, bye for now, and please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you on the next one.